So, the report in front of us provides an update on the activities of the Coventry and Warwickshire Growth Hub during the financial year up to March 2016. This is in line with a commitment by the Growth Hub to provide an annual update on its activities and outputs. The number of grants and business engagements is determined largely by the level of demand from businesses. Fewer borough businesses made initial inquiries or applications this year compared to last year. However, the number of businesses receiving detailed assistance remained about the same, with a much higher output from the assistance they received. There was £4.73 million worth of gross value added and 126 jobs created in the borough. The Growth Hub has also assisted with 5 grant applications totaling £53,000, which has led to an additional 12 jobs. As part of the strategy to increase the number of businesses that can be successfully supported, the Growth Hub now has a support team in place which is focusing on first level engagement and marketing. The Borough Council is also supporting the work of the Growth Hub by making space available in the Town Hall alongside business centres across the borough. A representative from the Growth Hub will be on hand every week in the borough to provide face-to-face contact and support to both start-up and established businesses. This has all helped in the first 5 months of this financial year, has seen engagements with 30 businesses, which is significantly ahead of last year's rates. The Growth Hub did give a presentation to the Economic and Corporate Overview and Scrutiny Panel on the 21st of July, and the activity for the year was noted. The panel recommended a number of actions, and these are being addressed and will be reported back to panel members. The first speaker I have on this item then is Mrs. Kondarka.
Thank you. Well, I just really wanted to make sort of one comment, because I looked at these figures and, to be honest, the way they're presented doesn't really give a very good picture. I've just been looking at the public health thing for Warwickshire, and that gives the figures for Warwickshire compared to the country as a whole, and a breakdown for each of the boroughs. And that gives a much better picture of how the borough, sits in relation to everything else in Warwickshire. I mean, it may be that that is one of the things that the Overview and Scrutiny Panel, mentioned. I don't know, because it doesn't say what actions they suggested. But I think in future it would be much better to have the figures, but also the figures from each of the other boroughs, because without any comparison, these figures, I have no idea whether they're good or bad. Thank you.
Are there any questions to Mrs. Kondarka? Thank you very much. Councillor Kondarka.
Good afternoon, Chair and members. Yes, the Growth Hub is potentially a very useful piece of equipment to actually get our businesses working. Sadly, we have had an appalling service from the Growth Hub last year, as the Growth Hub lost one of its key members of staff who was the advisor in this area. Looking at the scrutiny panel, we had very little data presented to our scrutiny panel, and we actually had to ask for more data after the panel met. And of course the scrutiny panel also had a presentation on the night. They weren't given pre-sight of the presentation. So we need far better scrutiny in the Growth Hub. Next week the Growth Hub is going to the County Council's Cabinet, at which a table of all the assists across Coventry and Warwickshire is presented. And we have had a spreadsheet from the Growth Hub showing that the £1.4 million in table on page 19 compares to £28 million in Stratford-upon-Avon, 20 times the amount of inward investment. And you see here, the Growth Hub in the last 2 years, it's been doing a few assists, a few grants, 15 assists last year from the Growth Hub. If I look around the area, we've got 38 assists in Rugby, 44 in Warwick. The Growth Hub is doing phenomenally more work, and particularly in Stratford, the assists are worth that much more. They've got more land, and the Growth Hub is providing real value in Stratford-upon-Avon. They're setting up a brilliant hub where a business incubator there. All sorts of marvellous things are happening in Stratford-upon-Avon. When I raise this at the county council and ask about details, I'm told, don't worry, we're getting loads of money from the LEP, not the growth, from the LEP. And we are getting loads of money for roads, so we can drive to places where there's work. We're not getting the assists for our local businesses. We're getting tarmac so people can drive to Coventry or Warwick or Hinckley. We urgently need to incubate and help our businesses here, and we're being badly let down by the current system. And all we seem to be getting is more and more tarmac. We actually need local jobs. And I'm really glad to hear that the hub is performing a lot better in the last 5 months. Because really, Nuneaton and Bedworth is the place we need to create work. We have a massive deficit. Around 43,000 jobs in Nuneaton and Bedworth for about 78,000 people working age. That's absolutely appalling. Only 60% of the number of jobs to the number of people of working age, which means that we're commuting out in ever greater numbers. We need a plan to grow businesses, to actually get this borough working and successful with local jobs, because local jobs cause less damage, less traffic, but also keep the money in the pockets of the people in Nuneaton and Bedworth.
Thank you, Councillor Van Dorken. Any questions? No. Thank you very much. Right, is there any addition that any of the officers wish to add to the report in front of us?
No, Chair, just to state, has already been mentioned, that there's been an increase in activity over the last 4 or 5 months. We expect that trajectory to be adhered to and continued.
Thank you very much. In agreement then with the